It has been just over 1 week since an attack in downtown Boulder injured 15 people who were peacefully demonstrating for the hostages held in Gaza. The suspect, Mohammed Solomon, lived in El Paso County. He is facing 118 state charges and one federal charge of a hate crime. Yesterday was a very emotional day at the annual Boulder Jewish Festival. People were seen crying as speakers shared their messages of hope on Pearl Street in downtown Boulder. Thousands walked peacefully with flags and signs showing their support after the tragedy. There were some happy moments and some dancing and vendors to uplift spirits. Boulder is no stranger to tragedy. 4 years ago, 10 people were killed in a mass shooting at the Table Mesa King Soopers. And now some community members are providing insight on grieving and coping with trauma. Colette Bordelon with Scripps News Group in Denver shares their message.
This is my dad.
A photo album, a chance to look back into the past.
My dad should still be here. There should still be more pictures of him.
And for Erica Mahoney, life looks very different than it did when those pictures were taken.
I think that people expect healing to take a lot less time than it does.
She's missed her dad, Kevin, for the last 4 years after he was killed in a mass shooting at a Boulder King Soopers.
There are still days that I wake up and I'm like, wait, what? My dad's not here?
Years where time has lost all meaning.
It feels like yesterday. It feels like 100 years.
Her mom and Kevin's wife, Ellen, has spent lots of time thinking about grief since then.
There's expected grief with the loss of a loved one, say an elderly parent, which is still really hard. And then there's unexpected grief with something like a tragedy, with your husband running for his life and being shot in the back and killed.
Boulder suffered another shock last Sunday.
I'm not gonna lie, my PTSD spiked. I spiraled for a couple of hours.
15 people and one dog are considered victims of what's being investigated as a terror attack along Pearl Street Mall, when a suspect allegedly threw Molotov cocktails into a group of people who were supporting the release of hostages in Gaza.
Why can't we get along?
We shouldn't have to live in a world where we feel unsafe every single day. And right now it does feel like that.
The two incidents, while very different, both require a healing process.
And so I think the first commonality between these two things is our sense of safety being ripped out from underneath our feet.
The whole city is feeling this because it's a collective grief and it's also a collective trauma.
This is Erica's counselor, Angela Schellenberg, who specializes in helping people move through grief.
And so learning how to regulate your nervous system helps the trauma as well. So that's my biggest takeaway, is just really grounding yourself.
It's a process to finding some kind of peace.
I never say that I'm going to move on from what happened, but I do say that I can and will and am moving forward.
With both women, taking it one day at a time.
You're strong. You're so strong. You're stronger than you ever think you are. And you're still here.
Sharing what they've learned with whoever may need it.
Try to figure out ways to still love the life you have.
And a message for the future.
We can choose to do better. We have to do better. We can choose to be kinder.
Colette Bordelon, Scripps News Group.